What's going on, people? You back in the lab with AB Yashrael, man. This young lady put this video out today. Said she caught this young man ditching school. And I guess she had a conversation with him. I don't know. You know what I mean? It could be a family member. It could be just a total stranger. But in the meantime, they had a conversation. And this young man said he could care less about school. I do think school is antiquated. I think they need to go in and make changes to the school system. It ain't the same when I went to school. It ain't the same when my parents went to school or grandparents went to school. But they teach on the same level. I think it should be more interactive. I think school shouldn't be 8 hours a day. I think this is my opinion. I think school should be 4 hours a day. Then parents gonna be like, well, what am I gonna do with my kids? I understand that. But if you look at it, the average person lose interest after about the fourth hour on your job, on anything, unless you just got a demanding job. But the average person, after that fourth hour, fifth hour, you really don't care no more. You just ready to go home at that point. I think if school cut down to about at least five hours a day, I think these kids be more productive in school. I think if we had more interactive, let's put the joystick controllers with the PlayStation and let them do their work on that. I think they'll be more interactive. I'm just being honest with you, man. School hasn't changed. You know what I mean? From when my kids was in school, they was complaining. All these kids complaining about how school set up. It's almost like they groom you from like a job. Rockefeller created the Board of Education. He set it up because he said he wanted people to come work for him. He don't want business owners. He wanted people to work a job 30, 40, 50 years. And that's what they got. So I think it should be more educational. But let's get into it, man. I know because people be like, oh, man, April, you talking too much. Just show me the video. All right, let's get into it, man.
Hats is all I care about. No. I don't want to go to school. Damn.
So you think that's right?
I don't care.
What about people and their mamas missing their mamas?
That ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. All I want is hats and switches.
Accidentally hitting
What is I'm learning
people?
In school? I'm not learning nothing in school, bro.
Okay, but you got to think about the innocent lives y'all taking at the same time.
Who is y'all? Why are you trying to give me book? Who is y'all?
Are you one on here talking about hat, tat, tat, tat?
Damn, I'm not going to school. You cannot make me go to school. Ain't shit good at school. I promise it ain't. I promise.
That shit crazy that you think this is way better than going to school.
It's crazy that you keep going back and forth after I already told you what the fuck was going on and how I'm feeling,
You ain't go catch no hat on me, so I don't give a fuck. I can say whatever I want to say. But like I was saying, that I just feel like personally this ain't the right thing you should do, going back and forth. And
who is you to tell me that?
It's a never-ending cycle.
Who is you?
All right, so let's get into it, man. My man said he only care about hats and switches. In street term, for those that don't know what hats are, you can Google it, you know what I mean? But catching fades pretty much, you know what I mean? That's all he care about. And switches, you heard the news or Google or people on the social media talk about switches, where you can make a semi-automatic gun or automatic with switches. This cat is on his way to the grave or prison. Most people don't understand that they build prisons off of third grade test scores. He say, and like I spoke earlier, school is antiquated. It needs to change. I think some of the school is still in the analog stage when we're in the digital stage. This young man's mindset has been influenced, I don't know, by the streets, by his parents, by video games, social media. He said ain't nothing good in school. School probably didn't challenge him at a young age. His parents probably didn't push him at a young age. Or they probably didn't go to school. You know what I mean? Nobody pushed them. So this young man is clearly cooked unless prison change him before the grave get him. I hope this young man changes ways, but that gang seemed like he's in that gang life and the street life, and that's all gonna happen, man. You know, I'm gonna probably show this video one more time before I close it out. But if a person don't want to do something, ain't nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean? Their mind is made up. Now, probably when he get 40, 50 years, if he lived that long, he'll regret a lot of things. I think these young kids think they have all the answers, and they clearly don't have the answers. They don't want to listen to the elders. They think we're out of touch. They think, oh, OG, man, you don't know nothing. They act like I just woke up and I was this age. It's like OG, you this age, brother. You know what I mean? Hey, I wasn't 16 once. I wasn't 20 once. You know what I mean? So these young kids don't want the GPS roadmap. That's why, and it starts at a young age. Let me say that. That's why when my kids got to a certain age, I started shaping and molding them. Did they have to make their own decisions on certain stuff? Yes. Now they're much older. They're all adults. I don't operate as telling them what to do. This is what you got to do. Not because now they're adults. I'm more of an advisor role now. Hey, if you do this, you got a better chance of getting here. If you do this, you probably will never get but right here. You want a house one day, you need to find a career that's going to steady boost your income, because you can clearly see these houses steady going up. And right now, the median house is like $450,000. So with that, they take about 25% income, which is roughly about 115, maybe 112, somewhere around up in there. I just told y'all in the other video, the average median household income is about $72,000. So if you ain't making the money to afford a house, you're gonna be in that renter's cycle of renting. And if you're a renter, there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody want to own real estate, but a lot of people wealth is generated through real estate. You know what I mean? I know people making $200,000-$300,000 off their house. That's a luck of the draw, but some people do. But most people, you're buying a house in the right school district, in the right area that's growing, especially if you see a Target and Publix and Starbucks and all that. Those areas are golf courses, if you can afford those areas. In school district, make sure your school district, man, you purchase a house, make sure your school district is good. You know what I mean? Because, hey, that can reflect whether your house go up or down. And like I said, that's where your wealth is at. So let's watch this young man video one more time, and I hope somebody get a hold to him and change his ways and go from there. But he's on the wrong path.
Hats is all I care about. I don't want to go to school. Damn.
So you think that's right?
I don't care.
What about people and their mamas missing their mamas?
That ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. All I want is hats and switches.
Accidentally hitting.
What is I'm learning in school? I'm not learning nothing in school, bro.
Okay, but you gotta think about the innocent lives y'all taking at the same time.
Who is y'all? Why are you trying to give me book? Who is y'all?
Are you one on here talking about hat, tat, tat, tat?
Damn, I'm not going to school. You cannot make me go to school. Ain't shit good at school. I promise it ain't. I promise.
That shit crazy that you think this is way better than going to school.
It's crazy that you keep going back and forth after I already told you what the fuck was going on and how I'm feeling,
You ain't gonna catch no hat on me, so I don't give a fuck. I can say whatever I want to say. But like I was saying, that I just feel like personally this ain't the right thing you should do, going back and forth. And
who is you to tell me that?
It's a never-ending cycle.
Who is you?
The bad part about this whole situation here, the young man, if the grave don't catch him, and I pray that this young man change his ways, somebody get hold to him and be able to steer him in the right direction. But like I say, when a person's mind is made up or he hadn't seen better, you usually be a product of your environment. The bad part about it, if this man continued to living without education or going to prison for a long time, he probably going to sit around and have babies out here. And that mentality going to be pushed down to those babies. And we're going to have more of this type of behavior out here. This is clearly a sad video. and this young man is lost. So if anybody know this young man, try to get hold to him, man. Try to talk some sense into him, because ain't nothing good gonna come out of this. With that said, man, this link of this video will be in the description box. I love to get a content creator their credit. Also, like, subscribe, and share this channel, man. We appreciate all the support. We really had a boom last month in our numbers, and we want to continue to grow there. At least that's what my analyticals guy told me. And I just thank y'all for all y'all doing, all y'all support, man. Check out our live coming tomorrow at 7 p.m. It's called No Excuses. Are you willing to sacrifice? Join it, man. With that said, maybe I shall. Until next time, shalom.